Hey, good evening. Welcome to Bonnie and Clyde's live stream. Thanks for joining me. We do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's jump right on into it. Let's take a look and see how the market shook itself out today. It looks like everything was down in the big markets, except for the NASDAQ was up 0.27%. Looks like everything else fell off right at 2.2%. And gold caught a little bid today, up 0.63% or just over $12. And silver caught another little bid, up 6% or $1.59. So there you go. Gold and silver up a little bit. And that's just the way that goes. Nothing moves up in a straight line. And most of the time, nothing falls in a straight line. So we'll see how things get back on track with the metals. And let's go over and take a look and see how Bonnie and Clyde's portfolio did. And again today, the market was down, and we took another beating today, down 3% today. Good little chunk down the drain. It's all right. Not so bad. It'll get better. And who knows when. But we're still hanging in there. We're still hanging in there. Let's go over to Twitter land. See what we got going on over in Twitterverse, Twitterville. And Bonnie and Clyde's coin of the day, an 1859 cent Liberty dime. And they had a mintage that year of 429,200 of them. And that is part of the series that goes from 1837 to 1891. Nice looking little 1859 dime. And then we'll take a look and see about NGC's coin of the day. And it's another foreign coin. It says on this day, August 13th, 1792, King Louis the 16th of France was formally arrested. He was sent to the guillotine, off with his head. Less than 6 months later, it said this 1792 A France 2 Sauls comes from a brief time during the French Revolution when the idea of a constitutional monarch was promoted. And looks like a wild looking little coin. Even had a little bit of a modern look to it. Let's see what else we got over here in Twitter land. Let me hit the refresh on this one right here and see if we can see anything new pops up over here in Twitterville. And really don't see a whole lot other than all these Federal Reserves promoting a bunch of masks and stuff like that. Let's see. I want to see what this is right here. ANA put out a. For many businesses, the coronavirus has created a coin shortage. Yeah. All the sheltering at home put a crimp in the normal circulation of pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters, and now retailers are asking customers to pay with exact change. Yes, they are. But what I wanted to see was this right here. I seen a picture that went along with their tweet, and it looked like says staff at a North Carolina aquarium at Pine Knoll Shores turned off a 30-foot waterfall and collected all the coins visitors had thrown into the water to make wishes. Says after cleaning the money, they'll put it towards the aquarium's expenses. They robbed the wishes. Well, isn't that just a mess? Can you believe it? That is one heck of a story there. Don't ever go to Pine Knolls Aquarium and make a wish and throw a coin in that place. Because they just took all your wishes and wiped them off and threw them away. I'll be daggone. How awful are them people? That's what frustrates me with these people and all their how they want to make people feel bad about change and stuff and mask and all that stuff. That's not right. Hey, thanks for joining us over in the chat. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Yeah, we over here on Twitter. Bonnie and Clyde's is over on Twitter at. Our address is the Great Coin Hunt. And that'll be at GR8USA Coin Hunt. The Great USA Coin Hunt. That'll be us. Hope you like it over there. We've had it up for a little while, but we haven't been doing a lot with it, and we figured we would start putting out more things on the Twitter field in Twitter land at GR the number 8 USA Coin Hunt over on Twitter. Yeah, we got a couple little articles today, but I'm kind of glad I pulled up that article right there. That was a mess. So those people over there at the aquarium in North Carolina at Pine Knoll Shores has stolen people's wishes from years gone by. You remember you used to go and you'd make a wish and you'd throw a coin into a waterfall or something like that. Well, these people have stooped so low as to go in and take all the change out and go cash it in. What a mess. Unbelievable. People ought to call if you've ever been to that place and complain like crazy. Tell them to put their wishes back in the fall. Unreal. Thanks for following us over there on Twitter. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. All right. Let's go over here and check out a couple articles here and see what we got. The first article we're going to talk about today is the 1955 double obverse and double dot obverse. And we're going to take and get the story behind why they may have come into existence. It says if you take these people for the word, it says, and I don't see why they would want to lie about this. It seems like a pretty interesting story, but they're saying that the 1955 DDO came into existence because on Thursday, August the 18th, 1955, several presses were coining cents. They were dumping their coins in a box where they were then collected and mixed with cents from other coining presses. At the time, Hurricane Diane was passing through the East Coast, causing extensive damage. Said there was confusion at the mint and elsewhere, and no one knew what the weather would bring next. And it said later in the afternoon, a mint inspector noticed the bizarre doubled cents and removed the offending die. Said by that time, somewhat over 40,000 cents had been produced, about 24,000 of which had been mixed with normal cents from other presses. So the decision was made to destroy the cents still in the box and to release into circulation the 24,000 or so pieces which were mixed with the other cents. The mint had no reason to believe that these would attract attention or have value with collectors. They were simply viewed as defective coins. So it is likely that about 3 to 4,000 1955 DD double die cents exist. All genuine pieces had the reverse die misaligned about 5% from the normal 180-degree rotation. So there you go, guys. There's your story about your 1955 double die obverse. And this comes to us courtesy of Mint News Blog. I hope you enjoyed that little piece of history. And we can see right here in another article that we've got pulled up, 33 million sales in early August heritage signature auctions. So the coin business and for some people is still smashing away and getting strong. Over 33 million in coin sales from auctions. Man, yeah, they are turning it up over there at Heritage. So, but some of those coins for so much money, it was unreal though. When you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coins, 8 coins that sold for almost $200,000 a piece. But still though, that's still a whole lot of money. $33 million in sales already. Man, that is quite a little bit of change. And that little article comes to us from Coin Week. And that's all I've got for coin news today, guys. So let's go ahead and check out the weather around the nation, though. And it looks like our hot spot for today comes in. We're going to have a tie in Texas and Arizona for 106 degrees. Nice and warm down in the southwest. And for the low temperature on the map, it looks like we're going to have 67 degrees up in northern Washington. Nice and cool out that way on the west coast also. And for the east coast, looks like you got 80s up and down the east coast. Over towards the Mississippi River, looks like we got the high 70s in the north to the mid 80s in the south around Louisiana and the Gulf Coast. Then once you cross over the Mississippi and you get into Texas and Oklahoma, you start jumping into the heat. Like we said, they had that 106-degree temperature in the middle of Texas and 90s throughout the rest of Texas, and then Oklahoma coming in at 97 degrees. And then as we head north up through Iowa, you got the high 80s in Missouri. And then you get into the Dakotas and Minnesota, where it's still in the high 80s until you get all the way next to Canada, where it drops into the low 80s. Heading over to the mountain time zone, like we said, the Four Corners area, Arizona had the heat spot, 106. The rest of it is in the low 90s to high 80s. And as you head north into Wyoming, Idaho, and Montana, you drop into the low 80s. And northern Idaho checking in the 70s. And then finally out to California, where you've got the high 80s all the way through California, and the low 80s in the Oregon area, and then northern Washington finishing it off with the high 60s. And as for precipitation, looks like we got some rain moving on the west coast out in California. So it looks like Central California can get some rain that they've probably been needing. And then down at the Gulf Coast, you got rain in the Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana area, northern Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina covered with rain, parts of Virginia. Looks like Kentucky's got some rain. Then you head north and probably got some rain up in Maine, northern Michigan, northern Washington. And then finishing off with some rain out in western Montana and around in that area. A little bit of storms and rain in Wyoming, Idaho. And that's about it, guys. I hope it's beautiful wherever you are. We sure do hope so. Now let's check out our good article to finish out the day. Let me check over on the chat. Hey, chat guys, thanks for joining us. All right, 10 for will do. Will do. All right, here we go. Let's finish out for the good article of the day. And the good article of the day comes to us from the Philippines. Police officers buy all of a little girl's vegetables. Police officers in the Philippines came across a young girl that was selling vegetables on the side of the road. She looked to be around 12 or 13 years old. And the police went and did everything they could to help her out. So they went and bought all of her string beans, which was a nice little portion of those. They probably got some pretty decent little meals out of them. So they bought every one of her string beans and then even gave her a ride back home. So we thought that was a nice gesture by the police in the Philippines. And that way they got to see a young little girl get off of the road selling her vegetables and be safe at home. So we thought that was an excellent, good article. So thank you all so much. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Check us out over on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, D-Live. We haven't done much over on D-Live, but we're getting ready to start doing quite a bit more over on D-Live. So thank you all so much. We do appreciate you. Happy hunting. Have a great day, evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.